And I want to thank my friend Ralph Reed for those overly generous words. I'm deeply humbled by them. Ralph Reed knows me well enough to know the introduction I prefer is a little bit shorter. I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order, and I am honored to stand before you today.
They weren't buying the pious Mike Pence act at that gathering today, but the Trump upsucking was on full display. Fealty was on full display at this Faith and Freedom Conservative Conference today in Florida.
If we are going to defeat the woke assault, then all of us need to wake up.
It's very simple. Go back to the Remain in Mexico policy and build President Trump's wall.
We're going to fight against this woke mob and these radical Democrats who are trying to absolutely destroy this country.
Let me ask you something. Do you miss President Donald Trump?
Still with us, Al Franken and Bill Kristol. Bill, not even a supplicant can catch a break these days. I heard you, Bill, on another broadcast tonight make the best point that I'm going to ask you to repeat now. It would have cost Mike Pence nothing other than a few seconds of his remarks to do what?
Well, when some people in the crowd started to call him a traitor, to say, wait a second. Let me explain what happened on January 6th. Here's what I did. Why I did what I did. I upheld the Constitution. This was the role of the vice president. We have no choice. Had no choice. No legitimate choice. I had no legitimate choice on what to do. The election votes were counted fairly. He could have spent 90 seconds defending himself, explaining the truth. and would it have mattered? Here's why I think it would matter slightly. Because when Al Franken and I say everything we say, there are not a lot of people in that Faith and Freedom crowd who listen to us. Would Mike Pence have convinced some percentage of them, perhaps? And you know what? Maybe Trump's kind of off the rails here. And maybe the Trump people, maybe just sucking up to Trump isn't quite the right thing. They wouldn't go where we want them to go. Pence would continue to praise all of Trump's policies and all this kind of stuff. But at least some establishment, some regular Republicans might speak up. Or after what happened today, even if Pence wasn't going to say it, could someone else stand up this evening on some other show? Could someone go to the floor of the Senate or the House and say, you know what? Mike Pence is not a traitor. Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy, could they defend what he did on January 6th? It would be, this is where the collapse of the Republican establishment is almost as damaging as the insane cult-like behavior of the Trump loyalists.
Al Franken, the party did not have a platform at all in the last presidential election, and the platform of this gathering seems to be we all miss Donald Trump. Can they run on that? Where does your gut stand on the upcoming midterms, for example?
Well, there's a lot of time between then and now, and what Democrats have to do is accomplish stuff for the American people. I think that's first and foremost, and that I do think means settling on some modification of the filibuster. But look, this guy is such a 600,000 people died, and many of them didn't have to. This guy abdicated all responsibility, and we have to make that case. This guy was a disaster for this country, and he punted everything to the states. It's as if after Pearl Harbor, FDR said, this is kind of Hawaii's problem. I mean, this was a crime what he did during that time, and yes, we have disinformation. We have people not taking the vaccine, which is also is causing people to die unnecessarily. I remember the polio vaccine. We took it because we didn't want to get polio. And we are now in a very bad time where you're seeing the kind of disinformation that you're seeing from people that I think know better, like Tucker Carlson. I don't quite under. I mean, Tucker used to work for you, Bill. He knows better. But this is I don't know what this is about. It's power or profit or whatever it is, but it's sick. We're in a really, really troubling time, I think. And it breaks my heart. We have to win. We have to win. And that's why we have to pass this stuff. We have to get daycare for people. We have to get infrastructure for people. And people want these things. That's how we win in the midterm.